Hello, water signs. This is going to be your elemental water reading for August 2022. This is a general reading and the messages will not resonate with everyone, so I suggest that you look back to the other elemental readings. Let's say you are a Cancer moon, but you may be a Libra sun, then you look back to the Libra reading, and so on and so forth. So we are coming up on the Great Lion's Gate, which occurs every year in August, on August 8th. I wrote about it a little bit. I tweeted out about it a little bit over on Twitter. You can find my Twitter thing on the art channel if you want to come over and follow. And this is a great time of manifestation. But, you know, if you're in bad energy, you don't want to be doing any manifestation, right? During that time, because whatever you manifest may be crap, right? So I am going to post later on, maybe not today, but post over on the website. I'm going to do a Lionsgate reading, okay? And if you want to join the membership you can click on the eye, or purchase a reading, you can click on the little eye that's going to show up there. Click on it and it'll take you directly over to the website, okay? So we're just going to, I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have with me the Levita Sibila for clarification. Yay. And we are going to pull a Golden Nostradamus as an oracle card. Now, while I was shuffling and meditating on the water glyph, I had a card present itself. So let me go ahead and turn the camera around. And we are going to, I'm not going to shuffle anymore. We're just going to start with this card. So what is this card? We're going to turn it over. Oh, well, it is the reversed Three of Wands. Now, those of you who've been with me for a while know I cannot read reverse cards. They simply do not speak to me. So I will have to get to my book. But then it also depends on what else is going around here. So this is at present where we are, possibly. It is a general reading. We're going to take the rest of the cards, make sure that I got it right side up, okay? And we're going to find out what is at the foundation of this, possibly. The Queen of Pentacles. What is the possible energy of the near or distant past? This can be from yesterday to 6 months ago. Uh-oh. The 5. You see cards are flying out. The 5 of Cups. What is the unknown energy that will be coming in for the month, possibly for August? It is the Page of Cups. Well, okay. And then, what is the possible energy of the near or distant future from tomorrow, perhaps to 6 months out? We don't know. It is the 8 of Swords. Well, water signs. I have 2 court cards here. And this is interesting because I have a Wands, a Swords, a Pentacle, and 2 Cups. So there's no spiritual lesson here. This is something that's happening or could possibly happen on a mundane level, everyday life. What is over the entire reading? There is your major arcana, your spiritual lesson. This is a 9. It is the Hermit. Well, right in the center, I have this reversed Three of Wands. And I really wish cards spoke to me reversed, but they don't. My brain is not working this way. So I have no clue what the card is saying. I'm looking at it trying to see if it's going to leap out something to me, but no, nothing. So I'm going to turn it right side up for the purposes of the reading. Okay, now it speaks to me. Okay. There's some kind of project or something that you have taken first steps on. You've made the choice to move forward on it. And let's say, for all intents and purposes, we see the little ships there, down there. You've set your ships out to sea. That just doesn't speak to me. But something has gone wrong. Something has not gone the way that you wanted it to. Now, in the past, we see this Five of Cups, and this is a card of sorrow. This is the card of regret. This is the card of crying over spilled milk. But it is a 5, and it speaks about a change. But this is a change, in a sense, on an emotional level. Okay? Maybe you've been sad. Maybe you've been depressed. Maybe you've been feeling dejected about something. But I like to call this card the Two of Cups in disguise. And I call it that because on the back side of that figure are these 2 cups. So this says that whatever was lost or spilled or stolen or whatever it is you're crying over really is serving you no purpose, because you have these 2 cups over here. Now, when I say the 2 of Cups, I'm not necessarily talking about, because the first thing people want to think when they see 2 of Cups is a romantic relationship. No, we're talking about regaining the balance within yourself, emotional balance. The masculine and the feminine energies and qualities that we each have, to work with our emotions, or to control our emotions, or to get a handle on ourselves emotionally, so that we can be in a better position to do whatever it is that we need to do, whatever that may be. But it also says whatever you're crying over, it's not, but you get some kind of message. And for me, this message always comes, and that's what the page says to me. It's never really a person. It always comes to me as a message. It's like a short message, a quick message, a message that, let's say an initial message. When it shows up for me as the Knight, it's a more fully formed or fully fledged message. But this is a message. And this message, for some of you, for the fish out of the cup always comes to me as a shock or a surprise. Okay, it's not what that means, but that's how I interpret it, because that's how it feels. So, in other words, there's a new element introduced, that an emotional element introduced here. Okay, so it's almost like saying whatever you're crying about over here, you got those 2 cups, and then something else comes in. So it's like this is being replaced with something else here. But what happens, because of the, I want to say, shocking nature, for lack of a better term, you are all of a sudden, oh my God, I'm trapped. I can't get out of this. I don't know how I got myself. But this card always says that whatever troubles you may find yourself in, it's usually something of your own doing. Nobody wants to hear that, because sometimes people do things to us that affect us in a way, or treat us a particular way that affect us in a different way. But it really goes back to, if that's the case, if it's somebody else, then the case is that you engage with that person. You made some type of relationship with that person, and so this is the result or the consequence. Okay, now this is a water sign reading, and I have this Queen of Pentacles here, so do not think because she has shown up that it doesn't relate to any water sign person. And when I say water signs, that I say it was for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So this could be, maybe you work at a bank. Maybe you are an accountant or a financial advisor. Maybe you handle the books or the accounts for some kind of organization that has to do with the environment and nature. I don't know. It typically speaks to someone who's practical, who's down to earth, who, in a sense, kind of crosses every T and dots all of the I's, right? They know what they're doing. And if this is not you in that sense, then it's someone that you may be dealing with. Okay? So that's possible. But this is shown up reversed. And this leads to this. Now, cups to me are simply about emotions, emotional quotient. Wands are all about fire, passion, desire, drive, focus, determination. Swords are always about thoughts, perceptions, belief, ideas, and communications. The coins are not just financial. It is about the doing of things, the third dimensional. And even if you're not doing anything, then that is doing something, okay? So I want to first take a look at this. And here's what I can do. I can take a look to see if any of these cards have any meaning with this influence of this Hermit. Now, the Hermit is a 9, and it speaks about the focus on completion of events. But this card is saying that whatever this is, now is a time for you to stop, meditate, contemplate, ground yourself, center yourself, and look over what it is you need to look over about this particular situation. This is the spiritual lesson, okay? And sometimes it can mean that you need to separate or isolate yourself from something so that you can actually see what you need to see, okay? So I'm going to start though first with this 3 of Wands. And for those of you who may be disappointed that I can't read reverse cards, I don't even care. Disappointments, toil, treachery, delay, indecision, procrastination, frustration, and a lack of confidence. These are the keywords. It tells that no progress is being made and good opportunities which may not present themselves again are being missed or ignored. See? Because you all like this. So if this was something, remember I said it's something that you planned, you wanted to move forward to, but it looks as though it didn't quite go your way. Doesn't mean that you still can't be successful. It just means that maybe right now may not be the time. Or maybe that it wasn't something you were supposed to have to begin with, because if you gotten it, it may have ruined your life. So sometimes, life is funny like that. Sometimes we set our sights on something, we want it and we don't get it, and we lament it and we're sorrowful and we cry and whatnot. But sometimes when we're about to make an incorrect decision, the universe will course correct for us, okay? And put us on the path that we're supposed to be on. So somewhat like a blessing in disguise. It implies that a new direction is needed, as talent, skills, and efforts are being wasted. Here you are, you working away, and ain't nobody appreciating that. The message is to set new goals. It also implies that it is a good time to lighten your workload by delegation if possible, or reorganize the way you work so that you are able to conserve your energy. That's what this is. And this is all mental energy right here. That's what that is. It is telling you that a careless and or hasty approach can and will ruin your efforts. To act arrogantly, prideful, or overconfident at this time could mean a downfall or failure. Take heed of your attitude and change it if need be. It indicates a disappointment in business ventures. It also tells of overwhelming competition or false starts. Here's the one that I'm looking at. It is a message to check and recheck all information, particularly the fine print, before proceeding with any new ventures. Because like I said, messages, ideas, belief, communications, concepts, that's what this is. And swords cards can sometimes be an indication of some type of contractual issue. In this card, it's signing something that you didn't read the fine print and now you can't get out of it. So I think this is a warning for you here. And you may have done it to yourself. But this card says, this 8 of Swords, that, oh, my eyes itchy, that even though you're, let me read it to you. Here's one. These two. This card suggests a desire to make changes and improve certain aspect of one's life, be it on the career or home front. However, at this particular time, only small achievements and improvements are likely to be made. This may be frustrating, but effort and perseverance will pay off in the long term, so you are asked to keep this in mind. Although you might be feeling trapped by your situation, your mind is free and full of activity. So you are asked to use this time to reflect on how the situation came about and how you will act once it is over. Once you are free on how the situation, once you are free of your current situation, you will feel a new sense of determination and personal strength. Okay, I can't look at these two cards because technically they represent people. So that leaves me these three cards here as they relate to the Hermit. So let me go back to the Three of Wands, because I did not check to see if there was any meaning with it as it relates to the Hermit. It does not, this Three of Wands. Okay. I'm here at the Eight of Swords, which is our outgoing energy. Let me see if anything, nothing here. And then that leaves me the Five of Cups. Tells me nothing. But this, it asks you to consider carefully before making major decisions, as the effects may have unforeseen consequences. The card of loss and regrets, and maybe indicating that although things may not have gone to plan, there is still something which is able to be worked and improved upon. It is a message that things are not as final as they may initially seem, so it can be an indication that there is positive and uplifting news that will bring a joyful message. You know, I don't know about that. But this is a 5, and 5s always, this card can be viewed as hardships and depression. Okay, and reflects on the need to reorder and reevaluate your life priorities. Do not waste your energy brooding and lamenting over what is lost. The Five of Cups tells of struggles, trials, and tribulations. It tells of the damage done and asks that you do not cry over spilled milk. It also suggests that you do not have to stay in the past or you will waste your life. It suggests that it is a good time to consider a change of residence or work environment or a new beginning of some kind. It indicates that your guidance comes from a higher source and must be used your way on the earthly plane. Okay? So that's what this is telling me. So this literally says to me that something is not going to be going your way. And there may be news about it which just kind of roots you to the spot. But it's an 8. And this is a mental energy. You are not as tightly bound as you think you are. And if this is about some type of upcoming contractual issue, read it first. Have another pair of eyes go over it to see maybe what you might be missing. Okay? Here's what I'm going to do. What I want to look at is the message, the news. Again, this idea that it's a surprise to you. I just kind of get the sense maybe for someone, it's like you thought this was going to be the answer to whatever the issue was or problem was, or maybe that it was just going to go away by itself, but it's not. You're going to be required to do something. Okay, here we go. Oh, my hands are not working. The Dileranti. That's interesting. There it is. The Messaggere. There's the message, the news. There it is. And the Speranza. Well, the Dileranti, known as the Lunatics. Okay, what is that? It's a diamonds. And never a good card. Not the worst card, but not a good card. Okay. the lunatics. Basically, it can describe a person who is irrational, given to their emotions and moods. Someone who has lost a rational perspective and is mentally confused, even though they may not realize it. It is a person who at best has unrealistic ideas and ambitions. It can describe someone who believes in false doctrines, ideas that will ultimately cause their downfall. It could also indicate being swayed by equally deluded people with the concept of plurality here. Veering off of your life course. It is a card that indicates hallucinations, contradictions, illusions of grandeur, and self-exaltation. It can represent someone with a massive ego who cannot see the forest for the trees. But generally, it is a card that describes setbacks, delays, accidents, recklessness, disorganization, opposition, mutually exclusive beliefs, precarious conditions, and transitory states. It is a card that heralds complications of all kinds and the worsening of the situation inquired about, as well as arguments and confusions. It heralds problems and trouble on all fronts, falling out with clients, partners, and family members, and can even warn of foolish decisions and dangerous situations caused by someone's lack of control. It can sometimes indicate illegal or confusing situations. It refers to illegal drug use and antisocial behavior, or someone with a deep, devious mind who's completely gone off the deep end. And here you have the news or the message. And basically, the messaggere is just that. News from far away. It doesn't tell me the nature of the news, when the news will be arriving. Typically, it's somewhat like the horseman in the Lenormand, within a day to a week. Okay? Doesn't tell me where it's coming from. It just says it's the card, and whatever the message is, it's confusing and some foolishness, and it's crazy. But here it ends with the Speranza card. And you see here the lion. This could be triggered by our Heaven's Gate coming in next week. So for that crazy card in the beginning, the neutral card in the center, we end with the Speranza card, which is the 8 of Hearts. But this card says, and I just want to kind of give it to you because you need to hear it, I believe. It can depict situations that involve in a positive way, giving hope. The card says, hang in there because suffering is about to end. It is connected to trusting the universe. It invites one to meditation, introspection, and the expansion of your spiritual life. It can sometimes indicate spiritual protection from the divine and the impenetrable shield that is granted by one's karma in the face of unwanted adversity. In business, it represents an investment or the intention of buying or having just bought, perhaps stocks or shares, or a business transaction that you hoped would succeed. Basically, more than anything, it gives a representation of having an emotional attachment to this investment or transaction, whether or not it succeeds. So, I would say that if this has not occurred, prepare yourself, but also recognize that it is not the end of the world, right? Sometimes we can't calculate or plan for everything, okay? Whatever this is, it's crazy. And in a way, with these two cards, if you were hoping that this would, I'm going to say that it's not going to go the way you think it's going to go. Why? Because we end with this 8 of Swords here. Let me see if this Hermit has anything to impart to you. You know, a lot of people see the Hermit card or the Hangman card and, you know, that, oh, we're so impatient all the time. We want to know stuff. We want to do stuff. We want to like yesterday. But the tarot is an extremely clever, very subtle tool. And every card has an actual purpose. Every card has a purpose. Here's something. It infers that you may be about to progress on to a new stage of life, but may need to first remove any difficulties from a current situation in order to make positive progress. It implies that you may have recently experienced difficulties that have resulted in loneliness and isolation. I don't know. It indicates that you should strive to divest yourself of thoughts of distrust and reservation. It asks you to be more self-reliant and in control of events. This is especially true during times of worries or crisis. It also asks you to be the seeker of knowledge. Seek and ye shall find. And with excellent forethought, proper planning, and a willingness to study, you will achieve your goals with ease. Now, I think what this card is saying, it says help and assistance from others is available if needed. However, it is only through contemplation of one's own self that progress can be made. It brings a message that guidance and assistance is available to you. You must, though, keep in mind that your actions are your responsibility. So use this time wisely to reflect upon your actions. I feel that in a way the cards are kind of warning you about something that you may have done or may be coming up for you. I would definitely say it's either business related or work related. Let me put it that way. Okay. Some kind of project that you've been working on perhaps. Maybe you did it at a time when you felt really low, you know. But it's just not going to go the way that you think it is. Again, it's not the end of the world, okay? It's not the end of the world. Let's formulate your question for the Golden Nostradamus. And I would say if you have not signed this or done it or whatever, stop before you do. Okay? And be cautious perhaps of any advice that you are being given at this particular point in time. You know, this card is really about trusting your inner self. And getting rid of the fear. This is the windmills of your mind. Well, what if I do? What if I don't? You know? That kind of a thing. And so that requires that you, like this queen, ground yourself so that you can go outside and put your feet in the grass. You know, or go hang out in the woods. Put your hands in some dirt. Ground yourself and ask for the answer to come to you. And this is really about having that faith. Okay? That even if it doesn't go the way that you thought it would, it's still not the end of the world. That just keeps coming across. Here's your card. That keeps coming across. It's not the end of the world. Well, now that's Cupid. And let me read you, because this is an odd card to come out for this, but let me read it to you and then I've got another explanation. It says, no matter how strong the force of reason, it is worth naught when love is in season. Love is on its way, and with it passion or the transformation of negative passions into positive ones. Potential transformation of hopes into love that you could bring into your life. Now, first thing that everybody wants to talk about when they see Cupid is just that, love, okay, or infatuation. But basically, Cupid talks about the heat and speed of a sudden attraction. or the heat and speed of a sudden, I don't know, obsession. It just says, you know, he's got a blindfold on, so that means he's just shooting arrows all around willy-nilly. They could get stuck in anything. So it doesn't necessarily mean that whatever that burning passion that you have is actually the passion that you need to have. Okay? Maybe you might need to alter it or tone it down a little bit or look at it from a different perspective. Okay? So this could be like you see something and you're like, yep, that's what I'm going to do. And you jump into it, you know, both feet. And then when you get in there, you find you can't swim in that pool. So this is to just be cautious about what is drawing your attention and be cautious about how much energy and focus that you're pouring into it. Stop and think a moment. Okay. And that's the way I'm interpreting this card. It's not always, Cupid is not always about love. Okay. It's not. It could be infatuation, and that don't last. You know what I mean? And that could be infatuation with anything. So that's what I have for you, water signs, for August 2022. I hope this message helps you. And until next time, be well, stay safe, and namaste. Bye.